So this is the start screen, and you can see that once you're signed into the TaxCycle, this is the screen that you will see. And from the start screen, you can get to the start screen from the left sidebar here. And once you click on that, you will see all the modules that are available to you. And on the right side at the top, you can see there is an option that you can choose if you want to see all the modules or if you want to see the modules that are purchased, that you have purchased. So you can choose accordingly. Depending on which module you have selected, you will see the actions relevant to that module. So let's say you select T1 module here for our conversation today, and you will find various actions for that T1 module. So whether you want to create a new return or whether you want to open a return, you can carry forward the return. So you can do a lot of in that module. Actions for the current year you can find on the left side, and actions for the prior year you can find on the right. And if you want to go to the previous years, you can simply click on this blue link here. It will take you to the prior years as well. And to navigate to the prior years, you can use this arrow as well. So as you can see for the T1 in tax cycle, you can go back as far as 2012 and go back to the prior fewer years. You can simply click on the same link as well. And on this side in the middle at the right, you can see there is a recent section, which there is a recent clients that you have worked on. If you want to quickly get into those files, you can simply click on the name of that client. And at the top, you can see there is a quick search box. You can simply search for the clients or in the tax returns. Just simply type in the client name or keyword or any relevant information for the client. It will search for you that file within the client manager. And customization is the key. So you can create a few options profile and choose which options profile that you want to use right from the start screen. And the recent sidebar is designed to give you a quick overview of some of the files that you have recently worked on, including their return status. And on this left blue bar here, you can see there are various functions available. You can get into the client manager, you can open a return, carry forward, and then for the further personalization, you can get into the options. This is where you set a default folders, preferences for your new files, billing settings, e-file configuration, print settings, all that you do in your options. And your feedback is invaluable to us. So if you want to send us any suggestion about the tax cycle, you can do that by clicking on the send feedback. Under help, you can actually get your license information. So if you want to review or update that, you can do that from by clicking help and then my account. At the bottom here, on the left side, you see there is a news section. This is where we post updates or current issues, any webinar announcements or any important CRA announcements. You will be able to see it here. And if you want to look into that particular news in the detail, you can simply click on the headline and it will take you to the detailed version of that news. On the right side at the bottom, there is a essential information list, which is the support section. This is where you can see your version number, license information, linked to the release notes, documentation. Uh, you can access our online vibrant community. You can get to our technical support, and also we have our social media channel as well. And this right sidebar is not pinned by default. So if you want to pin it, you can do that so that it will open always. So for the constant access, you can do pin it, and you can move it to the other side of the window if you like. So if it is not pinned, that means it will only open once you hover the cursor over it. So you can make the changes according to your preferences as you like. Now let's talk about Client Manager, which is one of my favorite tools because there is a lot of other things that you can do. You can instantly access your client files. You can get the reporting to prioritize your clients' returns and work on them. And also you can perform batch operations right after that. So once you have your client manager set up, which I have done already for our conversation today, you can get into the blue sidebar here and click on the client manager. And then as soon as you go into that, you will be able to see all the clients that you have in your files. And you can see that you have in total 1094 client numbers. So from here, if you search anything here, you can do that. Even if you search client name or any form, you can do that. If we search T2125, you will get the search list of that client, and you will be able to see that that search result is in the table format. And also once you have that, and you can see the details of that client's files or the content of that at the bottom. But let's talk about the quick search. Once you are in the client manager, if you want to look at the if you want to get the list of clients that you want to prioritize, how you can do that, there are a bunch of quick searches that are available for you that you can use. So you want to go into the right, and then this is where you can find there are a few quick searches available for you. For example, if you want to look at the list of clients files you have recently carried forward, or if you are waiting for the T183 signatures, or if there are files that are ready to T1A file, so you can get the list of those clients from right here. So let's say you want to get the returns that are not filed for T1 for 2022. So we will choose T1 not filed from here, and then you want to scroll it down, and then you see there is a custom filters. You want to make sure that there is a year that it is 2022 year you have selected, and then you want to scroll it down further. Now as soon as I'm doing that, and want to make sure that there is a T1 return that is selected, so you can realize that as soon as I'm doing that, I got a T1 outstanding T1 returns that are not filed for 2022 on the left side here. If I want to go further, I can scroll it down and then click on and check this balance owing box, just so that I get the returns that are not filed, but also I can prioritize them before the deadline, and also avoid penalties for them. So these are the list of clients that I got now, and I can just simply start working on them. So if I want to use the same search next time, I can just simply click on this save icon so that I can get this same list or similar list in the single click next time. Now, I got the list of clients, but what if I want to get the details or the information that I want to see for these clients? So I can just simply right click on any of the search result and click on change column layout. And I would like to go into the options and then click make, just simply click on this link here to start making changes. So what I'm trying to show you here is that you can adjust the columns and the layouts that to see the information that you want to look at for those search of returns. So here you want to make sure that you have copied the column layout, just so that you won't lose the existing layout or the default layout if you ever need to go back to it. And then you can rename that layout if you want to. And then we would like to select that layout that we have created. And then from there, if we want to make any changes or we want to remove any of the column, we can do that simply by selecting that column and then click on this arrow here. And then if there is any of the column that we or information that we want to have in there, we can just simply drag and use the drag and drop functionality and add into the selected columns. And then we can hit apply and then OK. And we want to make sure that it is being selected. So we want to right click on it again, and then we can select the one that we have created. And you can see that the information or the column layout has been updated according to our preferences. And I would recommend you that you go back to the quick search again and click on save, just so that the search has that the list that you have created, and also with the column layout, that it is saved. So whenever you will come again into the client manager and the quick search, so you can get not only get the list of the clients, but also you will get the information that you need to look at. So you can see that a simple setup can give you a powerful customized tool that can help you prioritize your clients' returns and avoid missing deadlines for them. Now let's take it to the one step further. So if you want to perform a batch operation for the clients, how you can do that. So you want to go into the quick search again. So let's say you want to carry forward in a batch. So how you can do that. So we want to select T1 e-file transmitted. So let's say we want to do that for the 2022. So we want to carry forward 2022 returns to 2023, which is our real scenario for the upcoming tax season. And then now we got the list of lines that we have already transmitted T1 e-file and for the 2022. Now, if you want, you can select all of those lines in a single click. But if you don't want to do that, if you want to just simply select individual files, you can do that as well. And as soon as you select that, you will see that the number of batch items have been selected. And you want to click on this box here to take you to the batch operations. And from here, you can choose what batch operations you want to work on. So there are a lot of other batch operations that are available. So you can carry forward, transmit, you can print in a batch, you can print labels, return purpose, and then calculate. All of that you can do in batch operations. So for our conversation today, so let's select carry forward, and then there is a standard operation options, and then there is a carry forward option. This is something that is specific to what operation you have selected at first. And you want to start here, and then it will start carrying forward in a batch, and you will see in a blue bar here once it is like it will show you the progress of the carry forward that is started in a batch. And also once it's done, you will be able to see that status is update, and if you want to go to those files, any of the specific files, you will be able to get into those files really quickly from here. And the naming has been done according to the file name conventions you have specified in the options. Now, this is a really high level of the batch operations and the carry forward. So let's go back to the start screen, and we want to open one file from where we can talk about the rest of the features that I want to talk about today, which is autofill my return. Next one is, so I have quickly opened this return, which I have recently worked on, just to show you that how other features work. So for the autofill my return, pretty much every professional tax software has the ability to download the data from Canada Revenue Agency to autofill my return, or AFR. But what matters is when it comes to speed and accuracy during the tax season is how the software uses that data. TaxCycle uses the AFR data to help you do a better job in preparing your client's return. And to do that, you can get into the data and then click on autofill my return. So here, I'm going to use the one that I have um, already downloaded previously. So what I want to show you here, so for you, what happens is when you click on autofill my return, it will take you to the CRA website. This is where you will enter your credentials, and you can select for which clients you want to import the data from the Canada Revenue Agency, and then it will take you to this window that you are seeing right now on the screen. And before that you want to make sure that you have author submitted. You have that form submitted to the CRA, and you have that approval. And now once you have done that, this is the window that you will see. And in TaxCycle, you always have the chance to review the downloaded data before you import it. And this is the AFR window that lets you preview the downloaded data with the amount that is already in the return side by side, so that you can spot any discrepancies if there is any. So this is something that the import is something that we are importing from the AFR, uh, from the CRA. and the 2022 is something is for this year. This is the amount that we already have in the return. So, and then also uh, this tax cycle automatically matches that downloaded data with the slips in the return that are carried forward from the prior year like this, or it will create a brand new slip like this here if it's not available. And when you are downloading many slips of the same type from the AFR, you have to choose to reconcile that slips with that data with your client statement, whether it's T3 slips or T5008 slips. So you do have that choose. If you want to reconcile reconcile that, there are different tools. For example, there is the Excel that you can import to. So you can simply click on export. It will export it to the Excel, and you can reconcile those slips against your client statement there. Or you can aggregate multiple slips as well, multiple slips into one slip to help you match the value on your client's file as well. And then after that, there is an option that if you don't want to import, you can just simply click on do not import, and then it will not import that slip for you, or you can choose not to import all the slips of the same type as well. So if you choose not to import, it will show you like this, or if you simply click on do not import all the slips of the same type, and as soon as you click on that, it will show you here that all the slips that you have chosen are the same. The type of that slip will not be imported. So once you import the data, so we are importing now, you can see that what data has been imported as well from here. From this drop down arrow, you can see that imported, and you will be able to see all these asterisks that you see the star in the orange color. This means these forms are imported from the AFR. Now let's click on here, and this is something that I want to show you, that after the import, the worksheet summaries information you would see if you were to log in to represent a client, and TaxCycle compares the downloaded data on the worksheets and the slips with that already in the tax return, and alerts you about any differences or the opportunities. And a quick fix messages makes it easy to apply the AFR as well. So if there is any of the information, for example, here you can see, and if I do it this way, if I remove it, so you can see I got the review message, and it is asking me if I want to use that value from the AFR. So I can use it that way. And if you choose not to import the T3 slips, and you chose to enter it manually, so T3 rect worksheet still looks at the total from the AFR to match the value from your statements. So if it is different, then it will alert you with the review message, so you can look into that. Now I want to talk about is prior year return, which is something is one of the exclusive features of TaxCycle, which makes it different from other tax software. I'm pretty sure you have a client, you have had a client who comes to you to file their current year return, and then they mention out to you that to file their previous year returns and as well, and then you think of all that data entry that you have to do in your current software, which could be very time consuming because you have to do everything. You have to enter all that mini details again, and this is where TaxCycle comes in handy, and TaxCycle can carry back the return to the prior year and carry forward the updated information to the subsequent year, which makes TaxCycle very neat and easy to work with. So first thing you would do is you would open a return, which we have already done it here, and then after that you want to go to the data, and then from at the top, and then you want to click on prior year, and then click on prior year again. Or you can actually right click on the return, and then after that you can click on prior year. What I want to mention you here is that you can always see at the top that we are in 2022 return, and as soon as I click on prior year, it will create 2021 return. But it has just directly opened that return because we have already created that 2021 return. But if you need to create a multiple prior year return, you can simply right click on that return as well. It will create another prior year return for you. And I want to show you that if you don't have a prior year return, what it will show you. So this is what it will show you, that this the tax cycle cannot find the existing prior agent. Do you want to create it? Yeah, we want to create it. As long as we can click on create, then it will create a prior year return for you, and it will open the similar way we have seen the 2021 return and 2022 return. And tax cycle T1 module, as we have talked in earlier, that it can go back as far as 2012, and then you don't have to worry about working on multiple years at once. And also, a tax cycle carries back information relevant to the prior year return, like the info and engagement worksheet, and also the dependent details. From here, you can see, and all the slip descriptions. And if you, as we mentioned, that if you want to create a multiple return years return, you can do that as well. Another great thing I want to show you here, now we are in 2022 return. So let's create a T4 slip here really quick. So I'm gonna just use the random issuer, and then we want to enter the numbers, some numbers here, and then I just want to show you that how it takes the information to how you can take a carry forward or any of this new information to the subsequent year. So we got this T4 information, T4 slip for the 2022. If this is the information that we want to take it to the 2021, how we can do that? So you can see that T4 LGH, and then we will go back to the 2021 return, and then you can see that we don't have any T4 with L, starting with L. So what we want to do is either we can right click on the return, or we can go to the data and then click on refresh, and then refresh carry forward. We want to do that, and you can see that that T4 has been carried forward with the information with the prior year. And then if we have any information, if this person is still working on this for this employer, then we can enter those information as well. So this is how it helps. And then if you need to take any of the information from this year to the prior year, if we want to refresh the prior year, you can do that really easily using this feature from refresh prior year from here. And it will carry back any new data into the previous year, updating the 2 and 5 year summary and prior year column on the slips. So it's that simple. TaxCycle makes it so fast and easy to prepare multiple years return, no matter what your clients throw at you. Now let's go back to the 2022 return. And we want to talk about is something, review tools. So review tools are really a great tools that are there to grab your attention when you are preparing your return, and it actually highlights the field for you so that you can look into that. If there is any error, you can fix it before you file the return. And when you are preparing your return, the review messages and the audits always works in the background, and you can get into the review tools from the left sidebar here. And you can use this drop down arrow to look into all the review tools that are available to you. So you can see that there are bulletins, critical messages, suggestions, all the other ones that you can look into. What I want to show you here today is that if you want to look into the issues that require your attention immediately, so you can click on require attention, and then you will get the list of those issues. If you want to get into the issue, you can simply double click on that. It will take you to the problem field, or you can simply click on the text as text as well. This in blue color, it will take you to the related field or the form. And if you want to address it, you can use the quick fix solution. You can click on this light bulb and then choose the solution for that. As soon as I will do that, you can see that that particular issue has been disappeared from the list. And in the same way, we can go for the other one and we can choose for that. It has disappeared again as well. If I don't want to address the issue, I can just use this check here to sign it off. And but you don't you cannot sign off the critical messages is something that I wanted to mention. And another thing is that there are some issues or messages that you don't want to see it again and again. So you can simply click on this light bulb and choose never show this message for my clients. But you won't be able to disable the critical messages is something that I wanted to mention as well. So critical messages are something that you always wanted to address it because those ones can prevent you from the filing. Another thing I want to mention in the review tools is that can be helpful in your tax season is that the fields with the review messages are signified with the colored corner triangles, which indicates that the severity of the message. For example, the red one is critical messages, the blue one is suggestions. And if you configured in the options, you will see the field in the with the highlight. This means that there is a review message. If you hover the cursor over it, you will see the pop-up of the review message like this here. And if you want to address it, you can do that by clicking on here. If you don't want to address it, you can sign it off. If you want to look into the same issues, you can simply click on the icon and you will get the list of those review messages in the sidebar. And for the later attention, you can right click on you can right click on any of the field and you can use these review marks. And if you want to clear it, you can do that as well. And for the enhancement of the documentation, you can attach memo as well to that field, and tapes as well. Now, this is something we have talked about review tools, which can really save your time when you're working on multiple returns. You want to review it as soon as you're working on it. It will highlight if there is any differences in the information, so you can look into that and then uh, quickly address those issues before you e-file. Now, once you have your review tools, review messages addressed, you want to transmit that return to the CRA. So how you can do that? You want to go into the sidebar and click on transmit, and or you can press F12 as well. So this is where you will see the T1 e-file, and you can expand this section by clicking on this arrow, and then this will show you if there is any outstanding errors available that you need to address it before you e-file. And you can address those issues or errors one by one from here. And if there are any of the issues that you can sign it off, and if that's what you want, you can do that. Be given an option to you, but as you can see, for the critical messages, there is no option uh, to sign them off. So once you do that, you can simply you will be able to see that there is a transmit now option. You can click on that, and it will take your return submitted to the CRA. And if you want to submit that return for the family, you can go to the files and then click on transmit family, and you will be able to see if there is any outstanding errors so that you can solve it right there. And you can see all of the status of those returns here as well. Printing in TaxCycle is a breeze, so you can customize the way you want to print in TaxCycle. So let's talk about printing a little bit in our session today. You can get into the printing from the left sidebar here. So once you are done with your e-file, you can work on your printing, and you can click here. You will see the print sets according to the conditions defined in the options, and below there are all the forms that are selected for printing, the way they will get print, in order they will get print actually, and also grouped in a print set. And if you want to see all the forms in the print set, you can simply click on here and you will be able to see all the forms. And if you want to include it or exclude any of the form, you can just simply check or uncheck off that form. So it will be selected or unselected when you will print that. And you see there is a blue asterisk. You can simply, it is just simply indicating that this is an override. If you want to restore that, restore the default setting, you can simply click on that. And before you print a print set, you want to look into the print configuration. And these are the same configuration that you will see into the print options. So here you want to look into the print out, printer output. If this is something you want to print as a hard copy, or if you want to generate a PDF, you can definitely make the changes accordingly. And if you choose PDF, you will have the option if you want to uh, if this is something you are sending or sending it to your client for e-signature, so you can select tax folder or DocuSign, or if this is something you want to email it to your client or yourself, you can choose. You have various options, and once you have your options according to your preferences, you can simply save that settings for that print set and then close it to go back to the print set. And you see there are some icons. You can simply click on those to get the output for that print set, whether it's generating a PDF or a printer, it will print it for you. And then you can simply click on print selected to print all these selected print sets. It will print it in the background so you can continue working on your, um, so you can continue working. And then after that, I would like to mention that many times it happens that when you are working on the forms, once you have completed that, you need to quickly print that. So you can simply right click on it and then click quick print PDF. But before that, if this is something that you are doing it first time, I would suggest that you click on print PDF form, and then it will take you to this dialog box. This is where you would like to see that the output if you want to generate a PDF again, or also if these are the settings that you want to have in for this particular form, or if you want to save these settings for all the forms every time you single print them in this module. So you can save those settings accordingly from here and then click on the generate PDF or send via email or print it depending on what output you have chosen. And if you want, you can print it in a print for a family, and you can also print in a batch as well. As I showed you in a batch operation, that the print in a batch is also available. Now, another thing I want to talk about is something is the workflow tools, which is an exciting features of the TaxCycle. It helps you track the status of the current return in TaxCycle. It provides various options and features that help you manage your tax preparation process efficiently. And TaxCycle simplifies your workflow by grouping a task based on the preparation stage. You have the flexibility to customize which tasks appear in which group through the options menu. A group is considered complete once all the required tasks within it are checked. So to access the workflow tools, you can get into the sidebar here and you can click it, and you can see that it has shown us a track, it is also called a track or a workflow tools. And by default, TaxCycle expands the earliest group that is still in progress, making it easy to focus on what needs immediate attention. However, you can choose to expand all. You can click on expand all, or collapse all, depending on how you want to look at. So here you can expand all, or from here you can collapse all. And if you want to go back to the default state, you can click on auto expand. So it will take you to that means it will only open the group that is still in progress. You can also click on here waiting for clients. You can check this box on if you're waiting on any of the client for the taxpayer. This flags the return that is awaiting input from the client and then search for them in the client manager as well. And there is another great thing about workflow tools is that you can set a due date for certain groups and to stay on the top of the client engagement. And you can also set the engagement due date in the return completion group. So I would definitely like to show you here. So you want to scroll it down and then click on return completion. This is where you can this one here. So you can set a engagement due date, and it will um, trigger a warning near the client's name if return becomes overdue. And also for the better communication, you can add notes to the task or date. Simply click on this um, command button to attach any relevant notes or to a specific task or the date. Some tasks are automatically checked off when you complete specific action in the return. For the manually, if you want to mark any of the tasks as a completed, you can just simply check the box and then it will be marked as completed. And you can see that when it is completed and by whom, so with the timestamp. And also you can get into prepare sidebar and click on this workflow summary. This is something that will get you the bird's eye view of your workflow progress for the clients. So it is in the printable format. So if you want to print it, you can print it as well.